Harvesters, looking to get a Vein Ripper on the battlefield on the other, going bigger than Vein Ripper, which most people are not doing this weekend.
All right, so my question to you is, what is the tipping point in this match? What are we looking out for something big to happen?
So here's how I think the game has to go for Pardee to lock up another top 8. I think it has to start with the discard spell, Thoughtseize or Duress, and then I think that Sam needs to get on the battlefield pretty quickly with a Blood Tithe Harvester, with some sort of 3-drop. Sorin ideally, or Fable the Mirror Breaker, but it's kind of got to be a 1, a 2, a 3 and get the game going, because the longer the game goes, the worse it is for Sam. Jason will have the opportunity to control, then resolve and creativity, and once Atrax is on the battlefield, the game is effectively over.
I'm excited to see this matchup, everybody. Round number 14 is on the way. Alien Corey, take it away.
We're excited too, Maria. Can't wait to get into this matchup and put someone into the top 8, Corey.
Yes. Gotta love it.
That's
Winning in
part.
Magic, you know, I mean, it does not get better than late in a Saturday broadcast here. You know, this is not the time to be leaving and watching something else.
No.
You need to be staying here.
Stay here.
Yeah.
Go get your beverages in the breaks, that sort of thing, right? So, Sam Pardee, Jason Yee, Vampires, the hotness, the leading deck overnight, had the winningest percentage, 63% win rate.
Yeah.
Compared to all the other decks, and then you look at the other Rakdos deck, and mid-range is just like womp, womp, womp.
Yeah.
Sub 40%.
Sub 40%, you know, it seems like you really needed Sorin and Vein Ripper.
I know, right?
And then every other deck was pretty even, like we'd expect from Pioneer, a lot of 50-50s. So, you know, as it stands right now, it looks like CFB well and truly broke it.
I think so too, and I bet they would love to have multiple team members in the top 8.
Yes.
Sam Pardee could be the first of them, but Jason Yee is no slouch, so gonna have to do everything that Sam can to take down his opponent. Good start here though. Thoughtseize taking a look and getting rid of Prismari Command.
Yeah, nothing left in hand, and you know, you would think, all right, maybe you're not supposed to keep that hand from Jason, but against a Thoughtseize deck where you have a ton of these, I totally agree with it. Keep a lot of hands. You know, Prismari Command is great at just getting a treasure, being able to loot away those lands. A little unfortunate to lose it to the Thoughtseize, but I would totally keep that as well.
The draw there to Fairy, Hero of Dominaria. He's not going to be able to help out Jason Yee anytime soon, but hopefully Jason can work towards that powerful Planeswalker. On the other side of things, though, Sam starting off pretty well, like Cedric laid out for us. There's the 2-drop Blood Tithe Harvester. Do we have a 3-drop to follow that up?
I think I saw Sorin, and I might have saw a Vein Ripper as well. Sam might have the absolute nuts here if it were to resolve. Now, it is not the catch-all, be-all like it is in some other matches. You know, there are verdicts, there's farewells, there are ways for it to be answered, but...
Are we going to see it?
Let's see it. I mean, if you're doing it... Wow.
Wow.
I mean, when you're drawing like this, I mean, this is the absolute best draw that you can have from this deck. Thoughtseize into Blood Tithe Harvester, into Sorin, with Vein Ripper, and even having a Mutavault. This is the absolute nuts.
Oh my goodness. If you want to know why this deck is doing so well, it's turns like that, my friends. Absolutely incredible stuff here, and Jason just has Teferi in hand.
Yeah, but if they can find one of the 2 verdicts, Vein Ripper, you know, you don't have to pay the ward cost, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. That is going to be what we're really looking for. But once again, you know, as many advantages that Yorion brings, and let me tell you, there's a lot. A lot of advantages. The disadvantages, of course, 80 cards. It's much harder to find your 1 or 2 ofs.
Yeah, the 1 copy of Farewell in hand. There is the Chain to the Rocks.
Yeah, but that does not do anything.
Watch Otherworldly Light. That's going to be too expensive. Get Lossel hurts. Oh, boy.
Yeah, and all those have to be paired with a creature in play to even touch Vein Ripper. So,
yeah.
This game could be over before it even begins.
Yeah, blink and you'll miss it.
Send in for 12.
Yeah.
Just 12.
In for 12. Just casually. What, down to 5 for Jason? They are in a bad way.
And Sam says that so confidently and unreal. Never gets nervous playing Magic. I don't know. That is a skill.
Yeah. For sure, and that cycle of the Triome kind of signals to us that this is not going well. There's the Farewell in hand, though, the 1-of copy.
Yep.
Jason cannot survive to it, though, so that is exactly how Sam Pardee and Team CFB Ultimate Guard wrote this deck up, wrote this game plan up. It's like, cool, don't let the opponent do anything.
Yeah, you know, just like a glimpse into the testing process of these players, you know the first time that they went Thoughtseize into Harvester into a Vein Ripper, you know they all had wide eyes and looked at each other like, oh, this could be it.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I love it when something new comes out of what's, you know, pretty much, I don't want to say a sole format, but you kind of know what to expect coming into these weekends where Pioneer's the format, but I think they surprised many people.
Gotta love it when a plan comes together here.
Thoughtseize on the draw here for Sam Pardee, taking care of the Omen of the Sea, so...
All right, this looks like
card draw.
This looks like a much more normal draw from Sam here. I think I see a Smuggler's Copter, a Vein Ripper, and just land. So, you know, pretty normal until Soren's on the top, and then Sam's like, okay, this is easy. Vein Ripper crewing a Smuggler's Copter would be quite impressive.
Oh, man. I don't think that guy needs any help flying vehicles or just flying in general. Yeah. Lotus Scooter down on the board, recently unbanned and finding itself a home in this deck here for CFB. Breach of the Schism, the 3-drop. Gonna jump into the copter and get in there for 3, draw and discard.
And this is excellent. With a bit of a land-heavy hand, Sam now has the ability to just discard some of these extra lands to try to find some extra gas. And yeah, we see Vein Ripper, we see a Fatal Push and a Harvester. Normally you'd think you want to take out Fatal Pushes, but when you can just Fatal Push a Shaman in response to a creativity, something like that, it can completely warp the game.
Yeah, also a good answer to any sharks we might see.
Yep, absolutely.
So just a turn pass back, 4 mana up for Jason Yi. Needs to keep control of this matchup and prevent Sam Pardee.
And they have to have
the board state.
Yeah, they got to have something here. Otherwise, you would want to buy Yorion, even though it's not a great play, just something to do with your mana. So they for sure have Teferi, which will be an okay play next turn. But Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is not what it used to be. You know, like the cards have just gotten so good. You know, Smuggler's Copter is a prime example. Like if you Teferi tuck one of your opponent's creatures, they can just play another one and then crew up Smuggler's Copter to finish it off. And there's plenty of examples like that across different matchups as well.
Yeah, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria has been outclassed, as you said, by cards of recent printings or recent sets. You know, he used to be the win con.
Oh, yeah.
Just tucking your permanents, ultimating Teferi, and just saying, oh, yeah, sure, I'm going to draw a bunch of cards and move your stuff away.
What a time to play Magic.
It was not fun at all, but, you know, Shark Typhoon being able to clear things out there and, you know, in this Jeskai creativity shell that Sanctum Evolve come up with, Atraxa is the big finish.
Yep.
But can Jason survive to that?
So I see a Lightning Helix in hand for Jason, so something to protect Teferi here. We'll see if Sam puts any equity on trying to just attack all out to Teferi or try to go for the life total of Jason.
Harvester, make a blood. Yep.
Comes Blood Tithe Harvester. Oh, this board's getting real juicy for a farewell or supreme verdict of that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can get anything going here.
I think we're still at the situation where you want to go at Teferi.
Yeah, Teferi is a bit of a pain in the butt.
Yep. So Jason decided to wait for this Smuggler's Copter to draw to just... I guess there's not a huge reason to wait, to be honest. You could always do it at beginning of combat.
I draw a card first, and like I have
and you would still protect.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you didn't announce the trigger, but I guess Judge?
I don't think I missed it.
I don't actually know what's the case here.
I think Jason wanted to kill the copter.
So I had 2 triggers on my attack.
No, it's trying to resolve the Preacher as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so I did not hear like an acknowledgement. Does there have to be? I just wanted.
Yeah, I didn't say like I'm going to put this trigger on top of this one. I just resolved this one and then went to resolve this one.
Even though it hasn't been announced, like he clearly hasn't missed it yet. It is clearly still on the stack. And
so I draw and discard.
Just want to make sure.
Just double checking, make sure. Always fine to check with a judge in any kind of scenario. Magic's a tough game where there's a lot of stuff going on.
Lightning Helix Copter.
Yep.
Lightning Helix Copter takes care of that, so extra life there for Jason. And yeah, just a reminder to everyone playing competitive Magic, don't ever be shy to call a judge. They are there to ensure that the games happen as correctly as possible. So.
Yep, 100%.
And an Atraxa.
Okay, so a pretty relatively Thoughtseize-proof hand. You want to take one of the Fables. The Atraxas are basically uncastable unless you get a lot of treasures going, but the one thing we haven't seen at all from Jason is any kind of creativity shenanigans and really not even getting close to it.
Yeah.
It's just been an Azorius control deck, splashing Fable essentially, and this is exactly what we heard in those deck bites from Reed. These are the kind of decks that they want to play against. Now creativity going over the top is not exactly the same as a control deck, but
it's kind of a nice mixture of different archetypes with a big explosive finish that you don't really see coming if things go well for Jason Yi and the Jeskai creativity players, but we do have a Fable on the board. The critter taken care of, though, courtesy of that fatal push from Sam Pardee, and still looking really good here.
There was a big draw from Jason, though. They have the Wandering Emperor here to be able to protect Teferi once again, and it's going to be quite good here. This was a good way to separate the attackers, though, because the Preacher is the most important card from Sam. So, not losing that to the Wandering Emperor, pressuring Teferi is excellent. Wow, actually, two Wandering Emperors.
Yeah. All who wander are not lost. And here comes the Wandering Emperor to take care of the attacking creature. Which one does Jason go for here?
Gotta be the Harvester. Maybe you make a 2-2 to just block the Harvester. That's kind of the more greedy line here, but it looks like it is gonna work.
Okay.
Now, this will be the first turn that Jason has the ability to top deck creativity and do the thing by negativing Wandering Emperor if they're able to find it.
Or no, you got to 17? I had you at 16 before and gaining 1. That
I took 2 from the Thoughtseize on my
Oh,
turn.
I forgot to record the Thoughtseize. Yeah, okay, yeah. So
Just
we're
make
both
sure
at
the
15.
life totals are
Both
all
at 15. Those are going to trade.
Teferi takes 1
even
down.
Stevens from both sides of the table
That was
here.
great. I already took it down. Okay.
Yeah, and this is the type of game where Teferi actually has looked phenomenal. It survived the first turn thanks to a Lightning Helix, and now it's being protected with the Wandering Emperor. Now Jason can go negative on the Wandering Emperor, get a blocker, tick up Teferi, and then have a second Wandering Emperor to protect it once again. So looking great for Jason.
This is the spot that Jason wants to find themselves in.
Yeah.
I always like to think of Planeswalkers as distraction tactics.
Yes.
Because Jason's life total has not changed.
Yep.
They're going to be very happy about that.
Yep, 100%. And Sam's battlefield is still fine. I saw a Vein Ripper in hand, which is okay. If you top deck, if Sam top decks a land, can use the treasure plus the 5 lands to play Vein Ripper, and that's decent.
Oh, it's your favorite.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
2 mana left up for the Dovin's Veto in Jason's hand. Sam Pardee's in a little bit of a pickle here. These Planeswalkers are a big distraction.
Yeah.
And they will run away with this game if he doesn't deal with them.
Yeah, now we're getting to the spot. There is the ability to cast Vein Ripper with that Sulfur Springs off the top. Now we're getting to the spot where Sam has to put all the creatures at a Planeswalker and just at one of them, more than likely, just to deal with it, more than likely Teferi. And it's just not a clean way to answer these at this point.
All my creatures at Teferi, this triggers to draw me a card?
Everything at Teferi. Recognizing the bigger threat on the board.
Treasure as well.
One
Judge,
creature already.
Can I have a question away from the table?
I think this question is, do I have to remind Sam that Sam gets a vampire and draws a card? Because they're at the even life total. That is what I assume happens with this. So I think just double checking that. And I would think if it resolves even a little bit, you have to resolve it all the way.
Yeah.
You heard Sam say, I don't actually know. What did I do here?
Oh, no, I was just talking about the game state.
Well, as the game stands, looking at this battlefield, you got to think advantage to Jason Yi at the moment.
For sure.
With the 2 Planeswalkers, with the Combat Trick Planeswalker in the second copy of the Wandering Emperor in hand.
Yep.
I think Teferi can be protected.
There you go.
Words are
combining
hard,
those two. I like it. Yeah, absolutely. And what Cedric was saying here earlier.
Okay, so I draw a card and go to 14?
Yep.
I don't make a vampire, right? Because it's not attacking the player. Yeah.
No, it's attacking Teferi.
Yep. Okay.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. Yep.
So all of these
Are attacking Teferi.
are attacking Teferi. Treasure token trigger is good too if you, Okay. thinking.
Yeah, and what Cedric was talking about, if Jason is able to get Atraxa onto the battlefield, basically GG. That's not always true. You know, if Sam is at kind of a little bit ahead or maybe even a lot ahead, can still clear that out and then attack through. But at a board state like this, it would almost most certainly be GG.
Here comes the second copy of Wandering Emperor. What is Jason's target here? Or the activation, I should say. Are we exiling? Are we making a critter? Are we giving first strike somewhere?
Okay.
Yep. Looks like just another 2/2 and is able to block the Shaman and a 1/1 and put Teferi to 1.
Teferi is going to take 3, and one of your samurais is going to die. Yep. I'm at 16. Your life total.
Planeswalker problem here for Sam Pardee.
Yeah.
We finished resolving combat.
Yes.
Right? All right.
Not what he wants to see on the other side of the board.
So here comes the Vein Ripper.
You can go.
Look at that big dummy. I'm afraid your investigation has reached a dead end. Well, he likes puns too.
No kidding. That has been a lot of people thinking, how do I beat this card? And then coming to that same conclusion. I'm at a dead end.
Oh yeah.
Really tough to deal with.
Emphasis on the dead.
I did see a Teferi off the top here for Jason. So they're able to at least, at the very worst, Teferi, sack a creature, tuck Vein Ripper. That's an option. There's still plenty of other options. One thing that can happen here is you can go Yorion, and with how the way this works, you blink out the Wandering Emperor. When it comes back into play, at end step you can activate it as well, since it is at instant speed when you get that first activation.
Unfortunately, Teferi doesn't get that benefit.
Yeah,
goodness.
Teferi does not. You still get to untap land.
Ooh, could you imagine if you could flicker Teferi and then get his activations all the time?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, yep, just ticked up on the Wandering Emperor. I was going to say we didn't activate the Wandering Emperor, but beefing up Yorion is a really smart play here from Jason, being able to block Vein Ripper. Something you can't normally say too often here.
So Big Bird gonna put in some work here for Jason. What does Sam have in the form of removal for Yorion?
Not a ton. Not a ton here. If we're able to go to the next turn, the Reflection can hit Vein Ripper, which has to be the best possible thing you can be doing with Reflection. But, you know, there's a lot of things have to go right for it to get to that situation. And as I see, I think Sam might just have 3 lands at hand.
This is not looking super hot here for our Strixhaven champion. The only piece of removal, like direct piece of removal, is Bitter Triumph.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a one-of, right?
Yeah, just the one-of, and then Bloodtithe Harvester with multiple blood tokens if you can get to that, but that seems
Yeah, and in the post-port game, probably has a second Bitter Triumph, possibly. If you're going to leave in Fatal Pushes, you're probably going to bring in other Bitter Triumphs, and we've already seen a push from Sam, so you would think that.
But 3 Vein Ripper triggers happen.
You're at 21 and then 9.
Go to 21.
So 6 damage, 6 life lost courtesy of Blood Artist on steroids. Vein Ripper. Pretty darn large indeed, as we're going to see, or not, as Dovin's Veto says no thank you. Bloodtithe Harvester joins after Fable of the Mirrorbreaker fails to land.
Yeah, and both players are playing a lot of things, but really the most powerful thing that can be done here is Jason drawing Indomitable Creativity, and then they are just going to pull so far away. And even the draw that we just saw, Supreme Verdict, is going to be incredible. Now, that is going to actually be a lot of life lost. So as incredible as it is, I guess it would be Jason taking, what, 12? So maybe not that incredible right now.
That's not super great. So, single target exile removal for this big flyer.
One thing that can happen, that Teferi, unless it just ticked up here, I might have missed that, you can tick down on Vein Ripper, sack Goblin Shaman, and then Wrath. But to be fair, if you get rid of Vein Ripper, that's the biggest problem, and then maybe Jason doesn't have to Wrath anyways. But step 1, gotta get rid of Vein Ripper.
Ward triggers.
Get that off the board. Ward has to be paid, so sacrifice the Shaman? Okay, all right. Goodbye, Big Bird.
Valuing the treasure, that leads me to believe we are for sure Supreme Verdicting here.
Oh, yeah.
It goes there.
Combat.
So that gets tucked. Shaman gets in, get the treasure, and then bye-bye board state.
And this is pretty obvious to Sam as well, but still might not block here because, well, it just doesn't matter that Sam goes to 21 here. But Sam definitely has the sense that something's going to happen here. It's just not really worth it.
So in Sam's seat,
Yeah.
after the Supreme Verdict resolves, with not much in hand at all,
Yep.
how many more turns, how many more draws does he go through before he's like, okay, this is inevitable, I am going to go to game 3?
I would think never. You know, I don't think this Vampire deck is really ever out of it, especially with having Vein Ripper 2 from the top here, because no matter what, next turn Sam could put Vein Ripper into play, and then there's a chance. He is definitely wildly behind right now, but, you know, keep playing until the final buzzer.
You take the ferry.
Oh, okay.
And lounge the last card.
Just land in hand. So Duress taking care of the second copy of Teferi, which would all but shut the door on
Cycle.
Sam Pardee in this game, number 2.
And being able to cycle, draw, then draw off to Ferry. Jason has to get very unlucky for them to not win this game and force a game 3.
Yeah.
And a reminder, everyone, you know, this is a tournament where if you get to 12 wins before that last round, you're out. You're out of the tournament in the best possible way.
I was about to say,
you get to,
let's clarify.
Yeah, you get to just relax, watch your friends, play some Magic, and you will be competing tomorrow in the elimination rounds.
You know, the less rounds of Magic you have to play today, the better, as you mentioned, because 12 wins, you are done. No more Magic for you today. Unless you go and, you know, play LobbyCon or go do a couple drafts or whatever.
I will make
So this is Castle Lochthwain untapping with Teferi, and this is the case of I don't have anything else good going on, and Vein Ripper cannot be dealt with on the battlefield right now. So, I mean, Jason does have to have something here. And I don't see much there. I see 2 lands at least. Those really cool basic lands, by the way.
Yeah,
they're
those are
really
sweet.
nice.
Plus.
You want to plus this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
2 Planeswalkers sharing abilities there.
Okay, there is
not
Wandering
both.
Emperor, so that at least does a good job of dealing with Vein Ripper if it attacks.
Yeah, the exile is exactly what Jason needs in this situation. The life gain also won't be irrelevant.
So one thing I don't think is going to come in as far as a sideboard card, but if it is in here, Path of Peril on this battlefield would just be absolutely GG. Now, this isn't the kind of card you want in this matchup, but there's a chance it could be in.
Sure.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, the control decks do have to win somehow.
Yep.
And if it's not, you know, an alternate win condition, there are creatures. They have to get things done here for Jason. Dusk Legion Zealot going to draw a card here. What else can we find for Sam? What was that, a Duress?
That was actually pretty big because it gets to see Wandering Emperor. So now if Jason wants to play Wandering Emperor, you have to do it now. Now Sam's going to take this combat off.
You take temporary lockdown.
But now there'll be no instant speed way to deal with Vein Rippers, so... But the problem now is Teferi's at 3. So now Vein Ripper can be tucked away once again, put Jason down to 5, and problem solve for 3 more turns. But Teferi would be gone, so that's not nothing. I wonder if Jason still plays Indomitable Creativity. You know, in the post-board games, it's of course a Yorion deck, so it's much harder to find, but they have not seen it at all. Pretty unlucky.
Yeah, I'd love to ask him about that.
Yeah.
What the plan is for this Rakdos Vamp deck.
I can't imagine you take any copies out. If Atraxas stay in, you keep in all the creativities. It's just been pretty unlucky going through probably 25 cards or so and not seeing the powerful card.
3 Atraxas in the list, 1 in the bin already, I believe.
Yeah, and you can even creativity for 2 here, and you can get double Atraxa triggers.
Oh,
you know, just to get a ton of cards.
That's cool.
Even though 1 would go away.
Go ahead.
The thing is, though, you probably don't want to do that because one Atraxa is probably going to find another creativity, and then if Atraxa dies, then you can find the other one.
So Vein Ripper is a 6/5?
Vein Ripper is a 6/5, correct, yep. And now it might be getting tucked.
Lands in hand for Jason.
Looks like it, yeah.
Oh, no, we're blessing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, Doman's
Veto.
Veto.
Get lost.
4 triggers.
Ouch.
Attack. Samurai copy.
Ouch.
I go to 19.
1, 2, 3,
you go-
4.
well, I guess I'm-
Down to
the
3.
end result is I go to 21 and you go to 4, or to 3, right? When
Yep,
this
3,
starts.
yeah.
Wow, just killing Vein Ripper almost always nets 4 life lost and 4 life
crazy.
gain. Unbelievable Magic card. If Sam has another Vein Ripper off the top, this is a real game.
Oh, yeah. Map tokens could be helpful here for Sam if this Dusk Legion Zealot sticks around. This board's getting quite wide for Jason, and, you know, control players, they're not really stressed until they're maybe at 1 life.
Yeah, yeah. This is pretty close. Wait, yeah, as I say this, you know what else is online? Good old Soren here.
Ooh.
Soren for the Lightning Helix.
Yeah.
Would just be GG, but we did see the Dovin's Veto as well, so Jason has that on lockdown.
Why do you give me hope?
Yeah, it's my job.
Just crush my dreams. I just want to see fun things happen. But yes, there is the Dovin's Veto in Jason's hand, and they will not hesitate to use it against Soren.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't it 3-2-2-2?
Oh, sorry, that one's 3. Yeah,
So 12.
Okay, double checking the live.
Lovely vigilance.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if this is a basic land or something, I think we're just done here. This has to be a big one.
Nope, I guess it's not.
Explore? Yep.
Explore, land in hand. Explore again.
Yep.
What you got there, Sam? Okay, that's a,
He
it's a
says
something.
that ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, not gonna do it though, unfortunately, as
You can go.
Copy a Samurai, make a 1-1.
Okay.
Yeah, and this could just be lethal right now. Either way, it is looking like this creativity deck didn't get very creative.
it did not.
You know?
It's just a white weenie strategy at this point.
Exactly. This did the best Teferi control impression and was able to really control Sam with some masterful play.
Yeah, you know, this is reminiscent of, you know, Throne of Eldraine, or just that standard set, this being the win con, you know, making a bunch of little idiots and then swarming the board.
Yep, that was a time for sure.
Hey, it beats Teferi doing the whole tucking thing that he does, so.
That might be the first Teferi down tick on a Dusk Legion Zealot ever.
I'm going to put that on for my achievement unlocked.
Yeah, there you go. Mark that on your bingo card, because here it goes.
-3 on Dusk Legion Zealot. Gotcha.
6 2s.
And then 2 1s and a 3.
Yeah, I love
Block
this.
these two, I
Jason's
take
just
2, 4,
jamming
6,
now.
8, 10, 12, and 9. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah, that was a
Long
little
one.
later.
Yeah.
Don't look. Do you look?
Oh yeah, I look. I want to make sure and punish myself for sure.
For what? For not drawing in time?
Yeah, why not? It
What
was
could
a
you-
Vein
what-
Ripper for what it's worth.
Okay. What could Sam have done differently in that game?
Nothing, but
No.
you know, I mean, curiosity. We're all curious humans. So Sam's hand here, I believe, has Cavern and Mutavault as the only land.
Hey, we didn't see a turn 1 Thoughtseize.
Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, that's for sure. Now,
Cavern of Souls, though.
I think Sam needs a Black Source or some actual mana, or this is just pass.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, Sam.
Wait, that might be a pass from Jason as well.
What? Name other things, but.
Oh, goodness.
This is a discard to hand
Discarding?
size.
Right, it's gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we just saw from Sam Pardee in the last round.
No.
Oh my.
What are you doing, friends?
There's nothing like getting 2 incredibly close, awesome games and then both players stumbling and just hoping for the best.
Well, they both kept 7, right?
Yeah.
So they're just like, it's 2 lads, we'll draw another one. Oh, boy. It's not a Cavern of Souls, but at least we can play a vampire with that.
Oh, that's huge because now Mutavault can sacrifice the blood to get something else. Sam has 2 draws at another thing to unlock the rest of Sam's hand, so great
Can I just
stuff
put the
here.
one over both of them?
Don't have a land for Jason
I don't
yet,
think people are
but
gonna be confused at home.
Well, we're confused, Sam.
All right, so I make 2 maps.
oh boy.
Find those match.
At least Sam acknowledges that we are indeed confused. Fable off the top there for Jason. No land. It's rough. Oh, we're just gonna cycle through a couple things and see what we find.
All right,
Oh,
Vein
boy.
Ripper going. Now that'll tell me one of 2 things if I'm sitting in Jason's seat is, well, there's either 2 Vein Rippers or there's no Soren and you're miles away from casting.
And no black mana either.
Yeah, and I would kind of lean to believe that there's 2 Vein Rippers would be my guess, but of course that's kind of just on vibes.
Another blood.
Vibe check.
Yeah, it was a vibe check, yeah.
I'm gonna use the blood right away.
Using
Because
the
you can't
blood.
name Planeswalker with Cavern of Souls, right?
You cannot. Nope. It does say Vampire on Soren, but it is Cavern is only for
Discard Soren to
creatures.
draw a card.
Yep.
Wow, discarded Soren with Vein Ripper. Discarded full Splinter Twin here, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, gives me something to play with, you know.
It's a slow one. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
That's really telling me that Soren and
Swamp,
Vein Ripper,
swamp,
that was
swamp,
redundant
swamp,
copies.
Swamp.
Wow.
There's no swamp.
This is a crazy game.
Map my blood type harvester.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Jason kill this in response.
Yep. And it looks like this is the worst way to kill it. It's a march
Yeah.
and has to exile a card here, so rough.
You know
rough
what?
for
I would
Jason.
do exactly the same thing because you don't want Sam digging any deeper into this.
But it's time to rip some veins.
Woo! We got a black sauce.
That was bait from Sam Pardee. Didn't play the black land first to make sure Jason would tap out. That was masterful play from Sam there. Most people would just rush to put that swamp into play. Wow.
Unbelievable
nice play.
stuff there from Sam Pardee, resolving the combo essentially. Soren on the board, Vein Ripper as well, and now advantage firmly to Sam Pardee.
Yes, now Sam gets to go with the play here, if he wants, is duress to look at the hand, see if there is any way to get creativity in play. There more than likely will be, and then at absolute worst case, you can animate Munivolt, tick up Soren, and deal with the Shaman to make sure creativity will not resolve next turn. And as we see, it's not even there, but still, it'll probably take that verdict pretty happily.
Poor little Mutavault just getting thrown around. But yeah, here we get to take a look with the duress. Planeswalkers aplenty. Can't touch that Atraxa, but she's not the real threat right now.
And Sam Pardee, if he were to ever get nervous playing Magic, this would be the spot to do it, as you can kind of start to feel that Sam has this within reach.
Looking really good here. It might be party time.
Might be.
We haven't had party time for a while.
It's been a while. Yep.
Maybe as a treat, we can have just a little party time.
Yeah, I remember Hour of Devastation where Mono Red was the hot deck. Sam decided to play Golgari at that one, made the top 8, lost to PV, and then Strixhaven champion. This would be the third one. Third top finish like that is really a separator, you know? 2 is already great, but once you get that third one, it's just truly incredible.
You got to feel either way that this Goblin Shaman is not long for the world here for Jason, as we get a big swing in here.
Yep, now Jason's just got to think to themselves, like, you know that Mutavault's getting sacked post-combat, so do you want to just block beforehand? And I would think yes. But if you do that, then Soren ticks up, adds a counter to Vein Ripper, makes it a little bit bigger, not that that truly matters.
Yeah.
But no matter what, Shaman's going away.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you're just priced into blocking here.
You know, it feels kind of like Soren does nothing because this isn't done pre-combat, so the lifelink isn't a factor.
Yeah.
But still increasing the power of the Vein Ripper in the sky.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Soren, you mean Splinter Twin?
Show and tell?
Yeah, show and tell. Splinter Twin, whatever.
Sneak attack.
All good. And wow, Sam's hand is still stocked here. 2 Fables, a backup Soren, and a Duress.
No red mana, though, so they're going to be hanging out there for a while.
Yep. So that's the thing is, Jason really needs to find a way to deal with Vein Ripper, but without having 4 mana, there's just not a card that does that, you know? Not one single card. So Fable's going to have to team up, and Jason's going to have to find land 4 plus Verdict.
Yep. So I go to
Oh, yeah, 2 creatures die, so that's an extra 4. It would happen either way, but yeah, down to 7, and then that is going to be a lethal swing next turn if Jason can't get this Vein Ripper off the board.
Okay, that was no more lies. That's a brick. It almost assuredly has to be land and the case verdict here just for Jason to stay alive.
Okay.
Well, let's see if the top of the library is
Land?
kind. Land and Omen of the Sea. That's not going to cut it here for Jason.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
It feels like it for sure. Sam's going to see this and get a little bit giddy as we're about to get another top 8 here for Sam Pardee.
Party time.
Oh boy. There are the lands finally showing up. A little late. going to 5, and that is it. So Sam Pardee, our first player into the top 8, 12 wins. He gets to chill for the rest of the day, but I doubt he's going to be anything but relaxed. But, you know, he seems pretty cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool.
And just so fitting that the first player into the top 8 of Pro Tour Murders at Karloff Manor is going to be with Vein Ripper, one of the most, you know, influential cards of the set. Really cool to see, and huge congratulations to Sam Pardee and the rest of Team CFB, kind of proving like, yeah, I think they did it with this deck. This is really cool. Big congrats.
One player in. Let's see if Team CFB can do it again. Jason Yee, so close. Next round, perhaps.
Got a lot of rounds. Got a lot of rounds to still make it happen as well for Jason.
All right, let's head over to Maria and Cedric to find out more about our next matchup, friends.
Hey, Adam Edelson has a chance to lock up a spot in the top 8 coming up next, but he'll have to get through Alex Friedrichsen.
Izzet Phoenix is Pioneer's most popular and powerful deck, but it's got some bad matchups, and Lotus Field is one of them because this deck does not care about a lot of what Phoenix is doing.
Are we going to send Edelson to the top 8? Find out coming up.
Welcome back to coverage of Pro Tour Murders at Karloff Manor. I'm Ailey Loney alongside Corey Baumeister, and we are potentially putting somebody else into the top 8, Corey. That's exciting.
It's so exciting. These last 3 matches at the end of a Pro Tour are really what it's all about, you know? I mean, whether you're in the event and you're cheering on your friends that are making it in, your teammates that are making it in, or you're watching at home, watching these players make the final day, the elimination round, it's just so exciting. It's my favorite time of Magic tournaments.
It's awesome. And just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, 250 plus people started.
Yep.
We cut to 159 overnight, and then all of a sudden, only 8 are left.
Yep, here we go.
Will we have another top 8 player here? Adam Edelson on 11 and 2, so a win for Adam would mean a top 8. His opponent, Friedrichsen, though, has to get 2 more wins.
Yep, absolutely. And we just saw Edelson play against Sam Pardee last round, and it was kind of that same scenario where they played some good games. And that third game, they both stumbled a lot, but Sam did come out on top. Now, kind of a bit of a punisher case for Adam, as Adam did run into, for sure, his worst matchup here in the form of Lotus Field. But as I say that, Alex did just mulligan this game down to 5 cards. Is up a game, though.
So Alex sitting pretty right now with 1 game up against Adam Edelson. Izzet Phoenix, Lotus Field combo, and we were just taking a look at Alex's list. Running Chandra, Hope's Beacon. We haven't seen her in a hot minute.
Yeah, pretty much since the charm was printed, Chandra was pretty much put on the backside and no longer really the win con of choice, but still in the list here for Alex.
Another interesting inclusion, main deck Dragon Lord Jamoka.
Yeah.
Not even a sideboard.
Archdruids charm it up, search it up right away.
Let's go get it.
Adam Edelson was one of our 6-0 limited drafters as well, so was able to dominate the limited portion. We saw that really spicy Izzet deck here that took down
yeah,
Simon.
that was
Yeah,
sweet.
super nice.
Going 6-0 in any draft doesn't have to be at this level. 6-0 on any draft, that is a mean feat. So kudos to the players who managed that.
I played Pro Tours for 10 years. I have never 6-0'd. I've 3-0'd a couple of times, but not many. Not many. I've never paired it with 2 of them.
Get good, scrub.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure that's what Twitch chat was saying as well to me. Absolutely.
Oh, boy. Well, let's see how this game unfolds here as we do have Lotus Field.
2 of them.
Hit the board. Yep.
Okay, and one spicy card I did see in Adam's hand is Narset Reversal. That card is just so incredible against Lotus Field and can be one of the most impactful things, as well as Mystical Dispute. Ends up being really, really strong at being able to counter pour over the pages or merge an ultimatum, Leer, really anything.
Here you can see Free the Fae. Middle couple cards here for Adam. What do you like in this pile?
I think I like Dispute. With Alex mulling to 5 here, you got to think that, you know, everything's not wrapped up for Alex here. But if you already have enough permission in hand, aka the Narset's Reversal, where you're trying to incentivize your opponent to cast spells, I would take the Sleight of Hand as well. So with that Narset's Reversal, that makes a lot of sense too.
I'm going to kick things up here with Sleight of Hand. Let's see what the top of the library yields for Adam.
Yeah, looks like Lightning Axe is a strange one to still be in the deck, if I'm being honest. It really only hits Leer and Grazers.
Those Grazers, you gotta take
Get them
care
out of
them.
there.
Yeah. They are the big threat in this deck.
Can't beat 'em.
There's 4 of them. They must be good.
You gotta keep removal spells for it. And sometimes it is just a case of wanting to get your Phoenixes into the yard. And if you get to kill a Grazer with it, that's just gravy.
Yeah, you know, need to get the blockers out the way. So
yeah. So there is Emergent Ultimatum. There is Vizier of the Tumbling Sands. And I think I see the Leer as well. So lots of options. But if Alex were to go and cast Emergent Ultimatum, well, then Adam gets to cast Emergent Ultimatum, and that gets a little weird.
End step. Free the Fae one more time. There's another Fae. There is Young Pyromancer, a land, and a Treasure Cruise. Ooh, would you like to go on a cruise?
I think we already have a cruise in hand, so probably not the most important. I would take another Picklock Prankster here.
Fine.
So. Also, I get motion sickness, so no, I don't want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, seasick.
Yeah,
That's no fun.
Not a fan.
2 Picklock Pranksters on an adventure. Treasure Cruise for 1. Nice. That's what you want to see. You don't want to pay 8 mana for 3 cards, Corey.
No. Not as good at all, that's for sure. And looks like Alex has a Narset's Reversal as well, so looks like we might be trying to do some tricky stuff here. There's a Spell Pierce in hand as well for Adam.
Brutal. Is it resolved yet?
Still on the stack.
Still on the stack, okay.
Debating here what we want to do with that Narset's Reversal.
I kind of want to see it cost, because that is such a blowout. Then all the resources from the graveyard, you can't cast it again for 1 mana.
Exactly.
That's an oof right there.
The one thing I guess you could always do from Adam's size is Spell Pierce your own cruise and then just not pay. Or Narset's Reversal your own Treasure Cruise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's spicy because you get to draw the 3 cards and put Cruise back.
Oh man, that's cool.
Thank you.
Wow. Alex can't really do anything here.
Except Cycle Vizier of the Tumbling Sands and hope to find Mystical Dispute, another reversal, whatever kind of permission there is.
Yeah.
This is great.
Oh, I love these stack wars.
Yes. They're
Big
both like,
thank
you
for Alex."
activated my trap card here.
Wrong card game. Oh, cool. So did it go back to hand?
Yep, it went back to Adam's hand, worked.
Sweet.
The Narset's reversal from Alex will fizzle. And the 1 mana still floating from Alex if there wants to be something to happen here. But it looks like end step we're just going to clean up, so we're going to see this Thespian stage copy another Lotus field.
Okay, that's fine. Discard.
Ooh, this is a
Ooh, what are you going to
common
discard?
stuff.
I guess just 2 Phoenixes. That'll do.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Okay, now this is looking really good for Adam here. But, you know, one thing about these Lotus field decks, you can really never count them out.
No, definitely not.
As you
They
can
can
win
win
on the
out
spot.
of nowhere, essentially. You know, you talk about the explosive potential of decks. Yeah, sure, this isn't like like you'll see with the Rakdos Vampires list, but yeah, this one will definitely slow burn you to death.
Now that I say that, though, I think I caught a glimpse at Adam's hand and only see a Spell Pierce as the only way to interact. And I think, yeah, what are we going down to 2 mana?
Gee golly, I don't know if he can afford
3
to pay
mana.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that with 3 mana floating, I mean, this could just be game. I just see 1 Spell Pierce, 3 mana available, so you can't consider into Mystical Dispute. Yeah. Resolves on Emergent Ultimatum. And that leads me to just think that the Narset's reversal may have been a little hasty from Adam because, well, you know, sure, it's great for you to draw cards and your opponent to not draw 3 cards, but the reversal on something like an Emergent Ultimatum is a time walk, as well as I just really wanted to see what Adam's piles would have been from the Izzet Phoenix deck for an Emergent Ultimatum if it would have resolved. That would have been awesome.
Definitely not optimal, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, let's see what it would. Treasure Cruise for sure.
Yeah.
That would be one of the cards.
Let's go play What's It.
I guess Temporal Trespass.
Yeah, that seems like a good one.
Maybe Galvanic Iteration. I don't actually know if that works the way you'd want it to. Yeah, that.
It's got to be monocolor, right?
Oh yeah, of course, it's got to be monocolored. Maybe a Shredder. Yeah, it wouldn't have been great. All right, so here we see Omniscience pour over the page, and Dark Petition here. The Emergent Ultimatum going to the graveyard will be Spell Mastery here, so most of the time you can never give your opponent Omniscience. You can maybe think about giving them Omniscience if you have Brazen Borrower to bounce it back after the first spell. But looks like Dark Petition is being sent back, Omniscience coming into play. So what that screams out to me from Adam's side is, okay, I have to just think that your hand is bad and you miss a pour over the pages. And, you know, that's a tall ask for sure.
Yeah. This deck is pretty consistent once it gets all the pieces that it needs together here, so...
Yeah, and actually, yeah, now that I see that, the Emergent Ultimatum gets exiled, so it actually wouldn't have been Spell Mastery, so...
Oh, okay.
Well, yes, I guess it still would have if you paired it with Pour Over the Pages, because you would stack that first. But if you were to take away Pour Over the Pages, the Dark Petition wouldn't add the mana, but then you wouldn't need it because Omniscience, everything would have been free, so... This deck is fun.
Yes, very fun. Something you would definitely enjoy spinning your wheels with.
This is the deck I would have played for what it's worth if I would have qualified for this event, as I just think it's awesome, and I wouldn't have had vampires. If I would have had perfect information, I would have played the vampire deck for sure, but...
Down, yeah, all of that area is available to you.
Using the entire play space here.
Okay, let's see.
Where do we
what's in
go
the
from
hand.
Alex's side?
I saw a Charm.
Okay.
That should pretty much do it. As you can just get Leer.
Yeah, gonna go fetch a critter and then...
I saw an Impulse as well. Getting a Dramoka. Okay.
Okay. That doesn't die to Lightning Axe, Corey.
Yeah, and that's gonna lead me to believe that Maybe we're not trying to win right now. Okay, already had Lear. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Lear in hand, Impulse in hand. What else do we see there?
Yeah, so you get Dragon Lord Jamoka first, so your opponent can't cast spells during your turn to for sure know that it is all wrapped up. Untap. Can't.
I thought it was just
Yeah. It'd be nice to kill Lear, but yeah, excellent sequencing there from Alex, making sure that Lear is protected via the text on Dragon Lord Jamoka. So now he's just free to play in his sandbox.
Yep, absolutely. And I see Balaged's Recovery, Impulse, and a Dispute in hand. And this isn't like 100% I win yet. It's pretty close, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like 98%. You have to really brick here on all the cards in your yard.
And there's plenty of options in the yard there for Alex Friedrichsen. So looks like we might be going to 11 wins here for Alex if all goes well.
Yep.
So Adam is going to have to wait one more round to try and get that magical 12 wins to get into the top 8 guaranteeably. And just a reminder, they can only do it in round 15. In round 16, if you get 12 wins, it's not a guarantee.
Yep, absolutely. And you got to think from Adams, going at 11-1, you lose the first one, you're like, yeah, whatever. It's Sam Pardee, great player, no problem. You lose the second one, you're like,
there
okay, it's getting a little more dicey. And you just really don't want to run into the train wreck scenario of having such a great record early on and then losing out from there. But still plenty of more opportunities.
Yeah, so unfortunate day for Adam Edelson, but Alex Friedrichsen is saying, you know what, I want to get 12 wins before round 16 so that I can relax and not sweat about breakers or anything to that effect.
For sure, yeah. Both players going to be playing winning in next round. I'm sure we're going to be bringing you that as well, and more exciting magic to come for sure.
Well, we have one more match to show you, friends, and it is our overnight leader, our 8-0 to start things off. Jeskai Hampton up against Luis Scott-Vargas, Hall of Famer. 11 top finishes, would love to add another to his already illustrious record. So let's jump into this. Izzet Phoenix versus Rakdos Vampires. What do you think of this matchup here, Corey?
You know, I mean, no matter what, I just think Rakdos Vampires is for sure the deck of the tournament. And if they're going to play that deck, they're going to test against the deck they expect to play against the most, which is Izzet Phoenix. I got to put the advantage towards Luis Scott-Vargas and the Vein Rippers.
Just have to have a chuckle that this is time walked. Obviously, we're very quick. Luis Scott-Vargas is already a fast player, but now we're going hyperspeed.
Yeah, I was going to say, we won't know it's time walked by Luis's play because he already plays that fast, but by Jeskai for sure.
Sleight of hand to kick things off for Jeskai Hampton. 2-drop Blood-Tithe Harvester. We will come to know this card very well for many months to come, I am sure, as things looking pretty good for both players here so far.
Okay, now's the key turn for Luis. Let's see if there is Sorin and Vein Ripper, and if there's not a Spell Pierce from Jeskai.
Oh, Thoughtseize to clear the way first and foremost. For Luis Scott-Vargas, is there going to be a response here from Jeskai? 2 Phoenix in hand, it looks like. All right.
Like going to be one less here, and okay.
Ooh, Ashiok, okay.
There is the nice tech that this has is being played by Team Handshake. Jeskai Hampton joined Team Handshake for this Pro Tour. While it is extremely good, very good in the mirror, very good against Lotus, really good against Amalia, not very good here.
Yeah, it doesn't do all that much, so Luis correctly taking the Treasure Cruise, preventing any further card draw from Jeskai, and just going to try and rip apart the resources available to him.
Yeah, Luis Scott-Vargas knows the value of an Ancestral Recall when he sees it, and it's going to get that Treasure Cruise out of there.
Fill in the bin does Ashiok. Did you ever play Honorino when Ashiok was just printed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that spooky voice.
Yeah, the animation's always cool.
Here comes Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And there's our little goblin shaman friend.
Yep, and one thing to note for both of these players, you know, Jeskai and Luis both had this qualification and did not have any more going on. But with the magical number 10, we're going to be seeing both of these players here at the next one. So all Jeskai Hampton and Luis Scott-Vargas fans can rejoice on that.
Rejoice they shall. Just want to point out that Jeskai Hampton qualified for this event 4 different ways.
Really?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, trying to tick them all off. It's like, okay, cool. He's 100%ing this game.
That is really impressive. I know took second in the 75K limited event, losing to the person that Jesse lost to round 1 in limited, Jason Yee.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, this is Galvanic iteration, I think, with Treasure Cruise.
Oh,
So
sweet.
just drawing 6 here.
Yeah, Cash. No biggie.
Yeah, drawing 6, and I believe has not played a land yet. So if we can find, let's say, may have played a land, actually. Okay, so just discarding now, but next turn, 2 Phoenixes are coming back.
Wow. That's super cool. It's so fun when you can get an impactful spell like a Treasure Cruise copied.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't like a sand. I'll have a whole new one, thanks.
Yeah, that's what some people are into, or you're into show and tell, Splinter Twin, whatever you want to call
Free
this
stuff.
Rakdos vampire deck. But now Luis is really spinning his wheels here, discarded the only 2 cards in hand, and just living off the top of the deck here. Got to put the advantage back to Jesse, where it was looking excellent for Luis after that Thoughtseize, and looked at a hand of Ashiok, no Treasure Cruise, and all of a sudden, Ashiok actually did do a lot.
Top of the deck being pretty kind to Jesse, for sure.
Didn't, draw any cards. Ashiok didn't replace itself, which is usually the prerequisite for any card in this Phoenix deck. But milled 8 cards, found Galvanic iteration, and then top deck to Cruise.
Sleight of hand, Ledger Shredder trigger, going to connive 2. So 3 more cards to look at here for Jesse Hampton. Come on, let's get some Phoenixes flying.
Wow, discarding Treasure Cruise, that's a flex.
Do we find another land? I don't think he's played a land this turn, right?
Yep, I don't think has. And we're going to see these birds coming back.
Yeah. There we go. Got an island. Let's get another 1-mana spell. Opting away. And let's get some birds flying. So would have loved to have hit a 3rd Arclight Phoenix there, but, 2 will do.
Yeah, 2 will do. These are probably defensive Phoenixes here. Just kidding. These are offensive Phoenixes here.
Psych.
Yeah, just Jesse recognizing the longer the game goes, it actually favors Luis, which is usually not the case.
It's a race.
That might signify that there is the one of Time Walk, Temporal Trespass in hand. That would be really the only reason to discard that Treasure Cruise there. I'm still kind of trying to think why you would do that and then cast Op later, and the only thing that would make sense is you have Temporal Trespass and you plan to win the game with it. With Galvanic iteration in the yard plus Trespass, that beautiful combo that we haven't seen in a while. And I did see it as he flashed through there.
Is there still Galvanic in the yard?
There is, yep. There's a second one there right below the steam vents.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
And yeah, there it is, plus another Treasure Cruise. All right, it's all coming together now.
Yeah, looking good here for Jesse Hampton so far. Nothing really happening on Luis's side right now.
Yeah, no,
just activating Mutavault and swinging. We're just going to jam.
Yeah, there has to be a Thoughtseize here. This game is just over. As land 6 plus the Trespass, there's enough cards in the yard. Double Time Walk is going to clean this up nicely.
3 turns of it. Oh, Soren. Hey, bud. What you got?
Soren to just kill Ledger Shredder. That's not going to be enough. Jesse is going to be able to take 3 turns here. The next 3 turns are going to go to Jesse, and he'll only need 2 of them, Ailey.
Oh, yeah. Goodness me. So the turn passes back now to Jesse. Untap 2 Arclight Phoenix in the sky. What else can you add here, bud?
Yeah, just explaining, I have this, and then Luis is going to say, show me the land, and there it is. Don't need a table mic for that one to decipher.
Not at all. Game 2, let's jump straight back in here. See if Luis can tie this up. Now, both of these players are at 10-3, so not into the top 8 just yet, but I bet a lot of people would love it. And Leyline of the Void. Oh, with the Thoughtseize. I wonder if that was a sneep.
Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. Leyline with Thoughtseize, unless the rest of your hand is absolutely unplayable, you're keeping a lot of things because Leyline is just so good against this Izzet Phoenix deck. It's less good post-board, but, you know, that's the only place Leyline games are going to live. But all these Phoenix decks just have a plan for Leyline and Rest in Peace. It usually involves Crackling Drake, some number of Fable the Mirror Breakers, and Young Pyromancers to sidestep it a little bit.
Yeah. Great choice there from Luis, getting rid of the more threatening 2-drop in Ledger Shredder. The poor little 1/3 isn't going to get much done. The Picklock Prankster is just going to be hanging out.
Yep.
That's a 1/3.
Yep.
Opt left on top.
And yeah, Jesse was 8-0 going into day number 2, so maybe not the best day, 2 and 3 so far. While Luis was 8-2, so has had an excellent day so far. Highlighted there by beating Reed Duke here a couple rounds ago in the Vampire Mirror. Some impressive stuff.
Picklock Prankster.
I bet we're not picking Treasure Cruise. Looks a lot less impressive when you got to pay 8 for that one.
Yeah, no, we've seen an 8-mana draw 3 earlier in the day, so let's not repeat that.
And it got countered too. How
It
not
did.
cool?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I think we should make bingo cards for these events.
I think we should.
Yeah. So.
Vampires being the top deck would not have been on my bingo card, I'll tell you that.
That scared everybody. I actually tell you before deck lists were locked in, I actually messaged Corey and I was like, "Have you seen this list?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "What? Which one?" So
yeah. First I was like, okay, they're probably memeing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, "Oh, please let it be real. Please let it be real." And let me tell you, it slaps.
Yeah, and I think it's proving itself outside of this. It took 1-2 in the Modern Challenge, or excuse me, the Pioneer Challenge. So it's really showing this deck is doing well outside of the Pro Tour as well.
Yeah, that's great because oftentimes you'll see these lists at a Pro Tour. Oh, hello, Soren.
Oh, just an empty tick up. That is a sad Soren there.
Sad Soren. Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, that leads me to believe Luis's hand is not great, and it is a Harvester plus a Fatal Push. Not ideal.
Yeah. You know, and it's great to see these tournament decks translating well onto the regular ladder, you know, because oftentimes they're too tuned for the metagame that you expect at a specific tournament that they won't do well over there, so.
Yeah, or people start to adjust and just play all the Pro Tour decks. That's usually what happens. People will get in their local events and just play whatever cool Pro Tour deck they want. So it'll do well right away, but now we'll see if it does well when players adjust to it.
Yeah.
So here is a way to turn on Fatal Push to deal with old Crackles here, Crackling Drake.
What did you call them? Crackles. Oh, boy. Crackles and Bub Smug. And So you talk about adjusting. How would you adjust to this Rakdos Vampires? Let's talk from the Phoenix side of things. What can you do against it?
You know, I mean, you can play more Spell Pierces, I guess, to be able to just counter it, but they can just play a normal game as well. That's the one thing about Phoenix, is you can't adjust to really anything. Phoenix is either good or it isn't, because if you dilute your deck to try to have answers for other stuff, all of a sudden you're not doing the proactive Phoenix stuff. So maybe you can change your sideboard a little bit, but even that, you can't sideboard too many cards with Phoenix. So I think if you want to adjust to the Vampire deck, you just play a different deck that preys on it.
Sweeper effects, sacrifice effects, all that would help against the big dumb Vampire that's made its way into this format.
Yeah, I would want to play, you know, we heard Amalia's pretty good against it. You know, I think like Enigmatic Fire Styles deck would go over the top of it. Supreme Verdict in general would be the card that I would want to play against Vein Ripper, I think. But
and just incidental life gain as it stands, you know, would be pretty good. But Soren taken care of courtesy of the big old Drake.
But I would be in the camp of joining them, not trying to beat them, because the deck's too sweet.
It is fun. We like free stuff. Ledger Shredder getting in there. Along with the Opt, going to connive.
Yeah, and this is looking great for Jesse to advance to 11-3 and have 2 win-ins. Luis is going to need a lot of help here. It would probably start with Land 6 and Vein Ripper here.
Oh.
Yeah, Luis's draw just has not been good at all. His draw game 1 was pretty good, but Jesse just drew out of the situation a lot better than Luis did. Top decking Treasure Cruise just completely ripped open that game.
Oh, yeah. Big birdies go burr.
Yep.
9, 10 damage. Goodness me.
And
11?
Crackling Drake is just getting the
It's
job
enormous.
done. And that's the thing about Leyline. You know, like you feel great on turn 1 about it, but
Yeah.
you also had to essentially mulligan to just put it into play. And now you get to bounce that, and ooh.
Slow motion, dramatic handshake, GG.
I liked it. That was a
Yeah, that
nice
was
dramatic
cool.
effect.
Yeah, you know, the speed of our speech is dictated by the speed of the broadcast.
I think so.
Precisely.
Yep. They're definitely controlling us here.
Jesse Hampton improves his record. 11 wins now. Is going to look for that
Yep.
glorious 12th win to ensure the top 8. Luis has a bit of work to do now.
Yeah, no matter what, Luis has to win out, and no matter what, it is not the Luis hits with 2 more rounds to go, hits that 12 wins, and is locked in. That's not the scenario anymore. He can get to 12 wins and then have to hope on tiebreakers. Still probably in for what it's worth, even if it's not before that final round 16. But yeah, has to win the last 2 at this point.
Time will tell. Fingers crossed for Luis fans out there. We're going to be back at the desk with Maria after this break, so don't go anywhere.